40 minutes outside of Zurich, guns are zipped in sports bags or casually slung over shoulders and carried off like baseball bats to batting practice. Steven Sterneman is here 3 days a week, squeezing the trigger on targets. In Switzerland, they say gunplay is a national addiction. Only America, Yemen, and Serbia have more guns per capita.
Not only you have to shoot, you have to really to concentrate and to look, and you have to breathe right.
Over the years, Swiss officials have lost track of how many guns are in private hands here, but it's estimated there are 2 to 3 million guns in a population of only 8 million people. With relatively low levels of street crime, that makes Switzerland the model of gun-happy countries, without the hair-trigger culture that many say exists in America. Like most men here, at 20, Steven did his mandatory army service. He was issued an SG 550 assault rifle, which the Army gives away to service members when they're finished. At the foot of his bed, in a flimsy antique wardrobe, it's part of his collection of a dozen different rifles. He spends every Saturday morning with his wife and kids, and then religiously he's off to the local range to shoot a few rounds. Gun ownership is rooted in history here. In the Swiss Alps above Lake Lucerne, Hermann Suter is a member of the pro-gun lobby. He led us inside what was once a hidden army fortress designed to resist a possible German army invasion in World War II. Suter tells me the Swiss can remain neutral with little fear of invasion precisely because there are so many guns in Switzerland.
The father had a gun, the grandfather had a gun, and young people, they are used that there is a gun in the house and they know exactly what the danger is.
But it turns out Switzerland is really not the global model for gun safety many believe it is. In 2001, a man used his army-issued rifle to assault a state government meeting. He killed 14 before he killed himself. Over the last decade, Martin Kilius has studied guns and crime here. While street crimes and robberies using guns are very rare, he says guns are involved in 90% of domestic murders and suicides.
They are used for killing relatives, wives, children, and usually these events preceding suicide.
In recent years, the government has tightened restrictions. Handguns are more difficult to acquire, and it's virtually impossible to get a permit to carry a handgun. But rifles can be bought with an ID and a criminal check. So what is the key difference between gun use here and gun use in the U.S.? Steven Sterneman's opinion? It's psychological. It's all about keeping a gun for national defense versus personal protection in America. And in peacetime, training to shoot targets, not people. Dana Lewis, Al Jazeera in Perlin, Switzerland.